In the last few videos, I've talked a lot about how to stay in a skilled nursing facility if they're trying to discharge you prematurely because you haven't made a full recovery. But now I'd like to move over to the issue of what happens when you need to stay, and everyone agrees you need to stay. But what happens is Medicare runs out after 100 days. And after 100 days, you're flying solo, you're paying cash unless we get you qualified for Medicaid. And I want people to recognize that every nursing home in the state of Florida accepts Medicaid. The point of what we're able to do is to help people legally and ethically protect their assets, because in the state of Florida, nursing homes run between 11,000 on the low end and maybe 15 or 16,000 per month on the high end. And that's going to cause even people who have a couple $100,000, maybe even closer to $1 million in the bank, that's going to cause them to go broke pretty quickly or lose a substantial amount of their estate. So the purpose of Medicaid planning is to legally and ethically protect my clients' assets. They don't have to wait 5 years. They don't have to sell their house unless they want to. They don't have to go broke before being able to get help from the government, because while Medicaid pays for a lot, it doesn't pay for everything. And if all your money has to go toward the cost of this facility, that doesn't necessarily leave you with a very high quality of life. So the purpose of Medicaid planning is to preserve your assets so that you can get as much enjoyment and improve the quality of your life while being able to afford the cost of this nursing facility not bleeding you dry. And then the secondary goal is to make it more likely that you'll have something to pass on to the next generation. Or if you're married, it's even more important, because if you have a couple in their 80s or whatever the case might be, and one spouse is in a nursing facility, we have the surviving spouse. I mean, we have the community spouse who is probably reliant on a lot of their joint life savings to live his or her own life and pay for their own expenses. And if all their money is going toward the cost of this nursing facility, it can cause immense problems. So that's what we do throughout the state of Florida. We have really wonderful ways of legally and ethically protecting assets so that my client can get help paying for this nursing facility, so all their money doesn't have to go to it before they naturally qualify for Medicaid. We do that in a number of ways. I'm the first to tell you there's pros and cons to everything that I do. There's no magic wand solution, but we're usually able to put together a stack of strategies which is going to minimize the drawbacks, maximize what my client's able to take advantage of, and eliminate or drastically reduce, oftentimes eliminate, Medicaid estate recovery. All legally, all above board. If you're interested in learning more about that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them and I'm happy to respond by video as well. Thank you so much for watching.